My name is Mike Kuzma. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out on this beautiful summer evening. But just briefly, for those, I see a lot of unfamiliar faces. I'll try to give you what I would call a Reader's Digest version of what's happened in Leslie's case. Back in, I think it was the fall of 2012, does that sound right?
Yes.
One of Leslie's friends was contacted by the FBI, and this person was asked a number of questions. Did Leslie display leadership qualities, things of that nature? Could he motivate people? And they were especially interested in knowing whether or not this person knew people who didn't like Leslie. Shortly thereafter, Leslie found a notice in his mailbox that said, mail cover. It was handwritten. This document's been produced in Art Voice, and it's available on the web. But it was directed to the mail carrier, and that mail carrier was instructed to copy all of Leslie's incoming mail. So after that happened, Leslie, myself, Dare Irwin, a fellow attorney, and he's also involved in the case, we got together and we came up with a strategy, and we decided to use the Federal Freedom of Information Act to secure files from various federal agencies that we suspected had files on Leslie. So we made requests to the FBI, the U.S. Postal Service, and various other agencies. And now in theory, the agency's supposed to produce the records within 20 working days. Needless to say, that didn't happen in Leslie's case. It doesn't happen in most cases. So we brought suit in 2013. One other thing we found out prior to bringing suit was that in the February of 2013, an agency was seeking access to Leslie's financial records. So we made requests to these different agencies. The agency stonewalled us, and on June 26, 2013, we filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Justice Department and the U.S. Postal Service and the Executive Office for U.S. Attorneys. And as a result of that first FOIA lawsuit, we learned that the FBI, who we long suspected, was behind the mail cover request. Now, the lawsuit, for a number of reasons, which I don't have time to get into now, was dismissed. The EOUSA component was dismissed. But we made a new round of requests to the FBI and the ATF. We filed a new suit on May Day of 2014. We picked these dates for reasons. June 26th was picked for historical purposes. That was the day Leonard Peltier was involved with the firefight at Pine Ridge or in Oglala, South Dakota. May 8th, needless to say, that's why we picked that date to file suit. But as a result of the May Day lawsuit, we learned that the FBI has over 30,000 pages on Leslie Pickering. The U.S. Attorney, that's how many pages that they had identified when we appeared in court several months after the lawsuit was filed. Not only were there 30,000 pages, the government said they needed, 4 or 5 years to process this material. So what's happening now is the government is, in theory, supposed to be releasing pages every 120 days. So we've yet to get a single page. We're supposed to get our first release at the end of this month. We've gotten some documents from the ATF, and we'll be making legal arguments as to why additional pages should be released. So that's what's happening on the FOIA front. With respect to the equipment that's part of this exhibit this evening, the FBI Eugene Field Office contacted Craig Rosebaugh via his webpage. And they said, we have this material, you have X number of days to pick it up or we'll destroy it in accordance with federal regulations. So Craig, who is now, he's gone to law school and is being denied admission to the California bar because of his First Amendment activities, was inclined just to not do anything with this material. Leslie and I and some other activists decided it would make sense to get this material back. So I wrote the agent who sent this email. He was named Timothy Suttles, and he's an agent who's been assigned to harass or target environmental activists. So I write subtles, I still write letters, and 30 days, there's give or take a few days later, Suttles calls me, I call him, and his response was, we're not mailing that stuff to Buffalo, but what we will do is you can either pick it up in Eugene, Oregon, or we'll deliver it anywhere in Eugene that you want. So that's when Lauren Reagan stepped in. She picked up the material from the FBI, and then once Lauren got the material, we arranged to have the stuff shipped here to Buffalo. And we almost didn't make it today because of the flooding in the southern tier. But we'll keep resisting the FBI. I think it's important to know that you can fight back. It's important to assert your rights and never give up. And to take a page from Tom Petty, I'm going to stand my ground, I'm not going to back down. So I encourage you all to adopt that slogan. But thanks for coming out. I'll stick around if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. But thanks again.